roadmap right there. And what is it that the people of Bangladesh are saying to you when you've been speaking to them?
Well, it's clear that all sections of society have voted for the BNP, and that's something that's absolutely clear in the verdict. And the BNP, of course, is now preparing. You can see, of course, top leaders of the BNP coming in. This is Mr. Humayun Kabir here, who is, of course, also one of the close aides of Mr. Tarique Rahman. And, of course, he is someone who is advising Mr. Rahman. And these are issues that, the BNP will also have to take up. There are lots of challenges. Bangladesh has been in a climate of political instability in the last few months. There have also been violence perpetrated against minorities. All of those things will have to be looked into. And therefore, the BNP does have a challenge on its hands. And that's something that the BNP says they are prepared for, that they say that they have plans. And in fact, if you remember Tarique Rahman's speech and that famous line that he said, "I have a plan." So they say that they have a plan to tackle the challenges that Bangladesh faces and take it forward. Now, the BNP over the next few days will, of course, take these plans, push it into action, and they will, of course, try and, make sure that they have the necessary team in place to take forward Bangladesh. That's what all of what is going on now is all about. And the BNP is, of course, now preparing to form a government that will be able to look into not just the challenges that Bangladesh faces domestically, but also in foreign relations, especially the relationship with India, and other challenges that also have cross-border impact and cross-border influence, which is also the management of rivers, water sharing. All of these things will be something that would be on the table when it comes to foreign relations, especially the neighborhood relations. And Mr. Rahman has made it clear that he wants the relationship with the neighboring countries to be based on mutual respect, mutual understanding, and that's something that he will push for. But this is a moment of reckoning for the Bangladesh Nationalist Party. It was in a challenging position. Tarique Rahman only arrived in December, but now he's led the party to victory and is, of course, going to be the Prime Minister of Bangladesh.
Thanks, Saurabh, for breaking that down for us and putting some of those developments in perspective for us. Saurabh Gupta live from Dhaka. Now, viewers, as far as Tarique Rahman's priorities are concerned, they are now cut out. This is a party that has come to power after 20 years, comes after a bloody student uprising. It comes after deep volatility. So what's the first thing he has to do? He needs to form, now the government needs to have complete stability, and it needs to reflect the people's mandate as it is. Remember, this is an election where there's no Awami League, so a lot of the Awami League voters have gravitated towards the BNP, and that needs to be reflected in the governance that Tarique Rahman will focus on. Second important aspect is institutional strength needs to be restored, bringing commissions and oversight bodies back to credibility and public trust. Now, some of this actually saw massive deterioration during Muhammad Yunus's tenure. Some of this will also play out depending on what the referendum results are, what the people of Bangladesh really want. And that needs to be reflected in Tarique Rahman's policies. The third important aspect is focus on long-term stability with regard to economy. The Bangladeshi economy has seen a sharp dip in the last 18 to 20 odd months. They've taken a $2.1 billion of loan from China, but can they do that anymore? They need to focus on textile exports. Bangladesh actually is now part of the global supply chain with regard to textiles, 12% of that. That requires work. Beyond that, there is minority protection that needs to be a key focus area for Tarique Rahman. And finally, the regional equation. You have the Bangladesh-India relationship, the Bangladesh-Pakistan relationship, the Bangladesh-China relationship. All of that is now going to play out in how Tarique Rahman decides to put forth a Bangladesh first agenda, but at the same time ensure that it remains inclusive, democratic, and has a forward-looking agenda. That is what Tarique Rahman needs to focus on. The trade between India and Bangladesh has been thriving in the past. That needs to now come back. And for that to happen, both New Delhi and Dhaka need to move beyond suspicion, build a fresh legacy of trust, trade, people-to-people connection. But now comes the real test for Rahman. Delivery is the important part, because in the world of high-stakes politics, winning is one thing, governing is quite another. All right, let's get in Monindranath, who is the acting General Secretary of the Bangladeshi Hindu Buddhist Christian Unity Council. And we also have Mehdi Amin, who is the spokesperson of the BNP Election Steering Committee and advisor to BNP Chairman. Thanks so much, both of you, for speaking to me on India Sense. Mehdi Amin, let me start with you. Congratulations are in order. Your party has won with a historic mandate. Of course, one may say that some of the polls were indicating a landslide victory for Tarique Rahman. Let me start by asking you, now this historic mandate also comes with historic expectation. What will be the priorities for the next Prime Minister of Bangladesh?
Mr. Tarique Rahman has already said it in a couple of his press conferences and also in his speeches that the first priority will be to restore the law and order situation.
Okay.
We want to ensure that the people feel safeguarded and protected. Second priority will be to ensure accountability and transparency in governance so that a government with public mandate can truly serve the people, where they can question about various policies, programs, and progress of the government. And of course, it's important as another priority to ensure that we truly uphold the democratic essentials, the fundamentals of human rights, rule of law, and freedom of expression.
All right, Mr. Nath, respond to that. There are some very reassuring set of words coming in from the BNP spokesperson, talking about inclusivity, talking about minority protection, talking about law and order.
Thank you very much. Already by this time completed 13th parliamentary election and BNP got the 2/3 majorities. We thank you them. But there is a reality. We observe without any major incident, the election is completed, which we want. You know the history of the previous election, minority, when election comes, minority people always with fear and anxieties. But this year it is completed with peacefully. It is a good sign. Another sign is, minority people, 10% at present in Bangladesh out of total people. But only 2% from Hindus, 2% from hill tax areas, total 4% win in this election. There is a so big, it means proper representation in the parliament.
Yes.
It will not happen. Without representation of minorities,
I agree with you, sir. I agree with you completely. Without representation, there will be no focus on Bangladeshi minorities, particularly the Hindus. And while some of these reassuring words are extremely important, at the end of the day, representation paves the way for every aspect. You're absolutely right there, and I couldn't agree more. Mr. Amin, let me then ask you in terms of what next. There's expectation this could actually be a big bang sort of a swearing in ceremony for Tarique Rahman. It could be celebratory in nature, massive in its sort of grandeur and celebration, and possibility of regional leaders also being invited.
Hope on Tarique Rahman.
Mr. Amin,
we're very optimistic, very hopeful that the way people of Bangladesh have embraced BNP, and we've seen the support from the international community as well for this democratic transition. Of course, it will have a great prospect for a global and wider integration.
Mr. Nath, what would you want from this government? That there will be a swearing in ceremony. It will be grand. It will send out a message. 20 years later, BNP will be back in power. Tarique Rahman says he's not going to just carry on the legacy of his mother. He's going to start afresh. What, according to you, will be that fresh chapter in Bangladesh's future that Tarique Rahman should be focusing on?
We want our minority community will live here with anxiety-free life. Not only they want to live here with their equality, their rights, and without any sort of atrocities. You know, long time in this country, minority people tortured or different during the time of different regime. We want Tarique Rahman in future. He must look this sort of incident in future do not happen in future. So it is very necessary, required. In that case, you know, from the very beginning, we place different types of demand as because for our existence in this country, we need so many like as Minority Protection Act, Minority Commission. You know, this is very essential for us. But previous government not consider this. We just at this moment we want to the Tarique Rahman just to consider this sort of for equal justice for all
Bangladeshi
minority
minorities cannot be second-class citizens. They need to be treated at par with the Islamic majority of Bangladesh. I completely agree with you. And I'm going to ask you just that, Mehdi Amin. I want to ask you that question with regard to, Bangladeshi Hindu atrocities as well. But before I come to that, Mr. Amin, I want to first focus on the India-Bangladesh relationship. One aspect of that is what happened with regard to Dipu Chandra Das and several others. But that isn't the only aspect of the India-Bangladesh relationship that has seen a lot of volatility. In your assessment, how do you see that changing with Tarique Rahman coming to power?
Oh, yes, absolutely. We want to forge a relations built upon people-to-people connectivity, a relation that is pragmatic and sustainable, and of course, thriving on equality, fairness, and justice, which means it will be mutual interest, it will be mutual benefit, and it will be reflection of the sentiment of the people of two nations.
Okay.
And that applies not just for any particular country, for the wider region as well.
Okay, for the wider region, of course, you now want to have a larger perspective in terms of the India-Bangladesh relationship. Mehdi Amin, now come in on the aspect about Bangladeshi Hindus. Mehdi Amin, do you think the minorities of Bangladesh need that reassurance as Mr. Nath is talking about?
Pardon?
Absolutely, it will be paramount. If you see the political ideology of BNP, it's Bangladeshi nationalism, which means we as a political party believe every Bangladeshi citizen, irrespective of the identity, whether it's in politics, whether it's in religion, whatever ideology or faith we hold, for every Bangladeshi, Muslim, Hindu, Christian, Buddhist, we will and we must ensure the same rights, the same protections, the same freedoms. That's the ethos of a united Bangladesh.
All right, I'm going to wrap this up right here. Thank you so much, Mr. Nath and Mr. Amin, for speaking to me on India Sense. At the end of the day, this is the hope that all Bangladeshis have who voted for Tarique Rahman with that kind of a historic mandate. The India-Bangladesh relationship also is now looking to be repaired and built from here on. On that note, a quick break on India Sense. We return with the other big story on the broadcast regarding Pakistan. Stay with us.
Alright team, our new order show is ready. Now we need a promo. Something cool, something sharp.
Well, I'm sure we'll be having outstanding reviews, solid suggestions,
expert advice,
The latest trends. It's a lot simpler. We'll help people make the right auto decisions.
it's got the cool stuff, geeky stuff, serious stuff, all of it, so that you can discover, decide and drive. I'm Siddharth Sharma and I am your Automate.
The sharpest minds driving the global AI narrative. Policymakers, founders, technology leaders. Global perspectives, Indian priorities. The definitive conversation on AI. 18th February, New Delhi. NDTV In.AI Summit 2026. on the NDTV network.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
Across innovation, economy and ethics, he is shaping technology that defines the next era of growth. Meet James Manika at the NDTV In.AI Summit, 18 February on the NDTV network.
From 1983 to now, I have seen cricket evolve, but the mindset to win never changed. I tell you that what win matches and what doesn't. This T20 World Cup, let's talk cricket, controversies and more on NDTV.
He is transforming AI from code into voice and from technology into experience. Meet Marty Staniszewski at the NDTV In.AI Summit, 18 February on the NDTV network. Across the fault lines of AI and geopolitics, he is shaping how the world responds to its most transformative force. Meet Chris Lehan at the NDTV In.AI Summit on the NDTV network.
NDTV 24/7, total domination in Davos. The world's biggest voices first. Iconic visionary Bill Gates. World Bank President Ajay Banga. IMF Chief Kristalina Georgieva. IBM CEO and President Arvind Krishna. India's AI Minister Ashwini Vaishnav. NDTV is India's voice in the world. First interview with Maharashtra Chief Minister. First interview with Andhra Chief Minister. First interview with Assam Chief Minister. India's first ground event in Davos. NDTV puts India on the global stage. Davos, domination, no debate.
Welcome everyone to the NDTV Masterstroke Art Award.
I find that the interest of the lay public in art has also gone up.
So the lifetime achievement in art.
I think thanks to NDTV for thinking of such a platform.
Please stay with us and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Front lines of Kargil, the fury of Operation Sindhu,
so many attacks,
the chaos and cries of disaster zones, to fighter jet cockpits, and the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen him.
We shift our focus now to Pariah Pakistan, where it is no longer just about a jailed former Prime Minister. It is about who truly holds power in Pakistan. At the center of the storm is Imran Khan, once the country's most popular leader, and today he sits inside Rawalpindi's Adiala Jail, deeply weakened. This according to a court-appointed report, having lost nearly 88% vision in one eye after months of medical neglect. In fact, his aides call it inhuman treatment. But this story, viewers, is far bigger than just about prison conditions in Pakistan. Because even behind bars, Imran Khan remains the only leader capable of mobilizing nationwide protests, all the way from Punjab to Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. And that makes him the single biggest political challenge to Pakistan's all-powerful Army Chief Asim Munir, since sweeping constitutional changes expanded the military's influence. Critics say General Munir now wields unprecedented authority. In Islamabad, Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif leads the civilian government, with his brother Nawaz Sharif still a dominant force. Opposition voices, however, describe the Sharif leadership as being politically dependent on the military establishment, and that's the way it is. Shahbaz Sharif is in power because of Asim Munir. And for Asim Munir, Imran Khan is a rallying point, a populist figure with deep grassroots support, a political brand that refuses to disappear. And here's the calculation. As long as Imran Khan remains politically relevant, he represents resistance. And if he is sidelined completely, the establishment may hope protests will fade. But Pakistan's recent history shows removing a leader does not always remove his influence. Behind prison walls, Imran Khan's future remains uncertain. And on the outside, the struggle over Pakistan's balance of power continues, which is why there is a high possibility that Imran Khan may not walk out of Adiala Jail and his health condition may continue to deteriorate. Meanwhile, Pakistan, yet another U-turn by the country. It will play India in the T20 World Cup in Sri Lanka. After throwing gazillion tantrums, reality finally struck. Pakistan Cricket Board chief realized that there is no money to pay up. Commercial contracts need to be honoured, except that the PCB chief had no clarity or clue about it whatsoever. This report tells you the many U-turns that Pakistan has taken, only to realize it needs to be back on the cricket field with India.
Cricket's ultimate spectacle on the biggest stage. India takes on Pakistan, but with a diplomatic dagger left hanging. Pakistan's boycott call fell flat and spiraled to such an extent that left Pakistan red-faced and scrambling. Pakistan came out swinging. A boycott threat framed as solidarity with Bangladesh, wrapped in the language of diplomacy and regional partnership. But with billions in broadcast revenue, hosting rights and international credibility on the table, Pakistan never had another choice. Behind the scenes, the ICC came down hard, warning Pakistan that boycotting a scheduled World Cup match would breach tournament rules and invite heavy action. With the tournament's credibility at stake, the message was clear: play or face serious consequences. Within days, the bravado faded, the boycott was off, Pakistan would play. The reversal was swift, sparkling ridicule. If the match was unacceptable one week, what changed the next? But in all this hullabaloo, Bangladesh were the biggest losers. A spot at the World Cup, exorbitant amounts of revenue and global eyeballs, all lost. The game goes ahead on the 15th of February. The stadium will be full. The world will watch. But the world knew all along the game was always on. Bureau Report, NDTV.
The global race for AI and digital governance is heating up. Countries are racing to control the artificial intelligence ecosystem, from critical minerals and semiconductors to data processing and manufacturing muscle. The US is investing aggressively in AI infra. China has embedded AI into its industrial and military strategy. The EU is shaping the regulatory guardrails, some would say overdoing it. But the AI governance is now shifting away from a lot of fear-driven policies to actual development, deployment, and delivery. And that's where India is actually charting its own course, or perhaps leading it. The India AI Action Summit is going to take place, where New Delhi will play host to AI leaders across the world. This is the first major international AI event to be hosted in the global south. Will cement that ambition, but this is bigger than just a summit. India moves towards its $7 trillion economy goal. AI is emerging as a force multiplier. Capital is pouring into Indian AI startups. Domestic large language models are being built for India's linguistic diversity. Semiconductor incentives are underway. Global partnerships are being forged to secure lithium, cobalt, and rare earth supply chains. Because AI cannot scale without chips, and chips cannot be built without critical minerals. Prime Minister Modi has called this India's tech decade. The focus now is on sovereignty, sovereign compute capacity, resilient manufacturing, and reduce dependence on volatile global supply chains. Artificial intelligence could add hundreds of billions to Indian GDP in the coming years. But the bigger shift, the deeper shift, is actually strategic. In the emerging world order, power will not just belong to those who innovate. It will belong to those who integrate code, chips and capital. And India is positioning itself to do just that. All right, viewers, with that, we wrap things up on this edition of India Sense. Thanks so much for watching.
This is not a regular promo. This script is written by AI. The visuals you are watching are created by AI. The logo, the design, all AI generated. Even this voice isn't human. Because if we're talking about the future, we can't explain it the old way. AI is no longer arriving. It's already here. Understand what AI really means for society, for business, and for you.
Alright team, our new order show is ready. Now we need a promo. Something cool, something sharp.
Well, I'm sure we'll be having outstanding reviews, solid suggestions,
expert advice, the latest trends.
It's a lot simpler. We'll help people make the right auto decisions.
It's got the cool stuff, geeky stuff, serious stuff, all of it, so that you can discover, decide and drive. I'm Siddharth Sharma and I am your Automate.
The sharpest minds driving the global AI narrative. Policymakers, founders, technology leaders. Global perspectives, Indian priorities. The definitive conversation on AI. 18th February, New Delhi. NDTV In.AI Summit 2026. On the NDTV network.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
Across innovation, economy and ethics, he is shaping technology that defines the next era of growth. Meet James Manika at the NDTV In.AI Summit, 18 February on the NDTV network.
From 1983 to now, I have seen cricket evolve, but the mindset to win never changed. I tell you that what win matches and what doesn't. This T20 World Cup, let's talk cricket, controversies and more on NDTV.
He is transforming AI from code into voice and from technology into experience. Meet Marty Staniszewski at the NDTV In.AI Summit, 18 February on the NDTV network. Across the fault lines of AI and geopolitics, he is shaping how the world responds to its most transformative force. Meet Chris Lehan at the NDTV In.AI Summit on the NDTV network.
NDTV 24/7, total domination in Davos. The world's biggest voices first. Iconic visionary Bill Gates. World Bank President Ajay Banga. IMF Chief Kristalina Georgieva. IBM CEO and President Arvind Krishna. India's AI Minister Ashwini Vaishnav. NDTV is India's voice in the world. First interview with Maharashtra Chief Minister. First interview with Andhra Chief Minister. First interview with Assam Chief Minister. India's first ground event in Davos. NDTV puts India on the global stage. Davos, domination, no debate.
Welcome everyone to the NDTV Masterstroke Art Award.
I find that the interest of the lay public in art has also gone up.
So the lifetime achievement in art.
I think thanks to NDTV for thinking of such a platform.
Please stay with us and enjoy the rest of the evening.
First emergency landing facility aboard C-130J aircraft in Assam's Moran. Vital for emergency response, enabling the timely deployment of rescue and relief ops. Prime Minister Modi is set to inaugurate the 6-lane Kumar Bhaskar Verma Setu over the Brahmaputra. Prime Minister Modi inaugurates the 3,000 crore bridge on Brahmaputra River. The 3,000 crore rupees Kumar Bhaskar Verma Setu will connect Guwahati with the northern parts of Assam. Indian national Nikhil Gupta has pled guilty to plotting an unsuccessful assassination attempt against Khalistani terrorist Gurpant Singh Pannu. Pleads guilty to murder for hire, conspiracy to commit murder for hire and conspiracy to commit money laundering charges. He faces over 40 years jail time. Union Minister, Home Minister Amit Shah has slammed leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi over the India-US trade deal, accusing the Congress of misleading the country and asserting that 100% protection is there for Indian farmers. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal has also lashed out at the leader of opposition, saying that Rahul Gandhi has zero knowledge of the trade deal. A portion of metro rail track pillar in Mumbai's Mulund West has collapsed, killing one person and injuring 3 people. Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis, has expressed grief, even as a high-level probe has been ordered. And cricket's biggest rivalry lights up Colombo as countdown begins for the most awaited clash of T20 World Cup. India-Pakistan. Indian team reaches Colombo ahead of the scheduled match. The big story on the broadcast, State of Assam witnessed a historic event when Prime Minister Modi made an unprecedented landing aboard C-130J aircraft in Assam's Dibrugarh area. Prime Minister Modi inaugurated the strip, launched projects worth 5,500 crore rupees and witnessed a 40-minute aerial display by the Indian Air Force, featuring fighter jets, transport aircraft and helicopters. And as part of that exercise, fighter aircraft, including the Sukhoi and Rafale jets, also operated from the Emergency Landing Facility, or the ELF. The facility now opens an identified stretch on the highway as an alternative runway during contingencies, which would be capable of handling emergency landing as well as takeoff operations of fighters, transport aircraft and helicopters. This will also prove extremely crucial during humanitarian assistance, disaster relief operations and of course during any potential military assault as well. In fact, let's play out this ground report that's been filed by my colleague Shreyasi.
A historic moment for Northeast as well as Assam as the Prime Minister inaugurates the emergency landing facility here at the Moran bypass, with the Indian Air Force demonstrating the capability of showcasing the ability to maneuver fighter jets as well as cargo transportation. In a war-like situation, this civilian highway is going to double up as an emergency landing facility, even in the times of disaster management. What sets it apart is that this highway has no divider in the middle, making it capable for the Air Force to land its large flights, to maneuver these flights, and of course this adding to not only the strategic importance of the northeastern region, but also the country witnessing something like this holds extreme significance. And of course, air show there being performed by the Indian Air Force with villagers from across lining up to get a glimpse. You can see the kind of crowd that has gathered here to see the brave hearts of our defence force take out these sorties that are being carried out on this particular highway, and the Prime Minister of the country along with the Defence Minister and other dignitaries here at the Moran bypass inaugurating this particular airstrip, which is going to be another boost for the defence sector here in the country. With Sanjay Chakraborty, Srishide for NDTV from Dibrugarh.
All right, latest updates coming in. In fact, in a first of its kind moment for the entire Northeast region, Prime Minister Modi touched down at the newly built emergency landing facility on Dibrugarh's Moran bypass in C-130J Hercules, marking a major milestone in India's strategic as well as disaster response capability. Significant display of aerial prowess.